Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Emily and I have a crazy story for you guys today. So recently we somehow luckily got our hands on the best Lego May the 4th promo ever made. It's this beautiful minifigure. It was only made in 2014 and the detailing on this thing is absolutely amazing. I cannot believe we got it. And if you haven't guessed it yet, the May 4th promo I'm talking about is the minifigure Darth Revan. And I am shocked that we have it, first of all. But the most interesting part of all of this is how we got it. So before I tell you the story, if you're into Lego Star Wars, Disney, Lego City Building, or Lego Vlogs, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. I'd really appreciate it. All right, so here's what happened. So back in 2014, it was May 4th weekend, and Ross's cousin was at the mall, and he was just kind of looking around. I don't know what he was there for, maybe like buying jeans, I don't really know. But it happened to be May 4th weekend, and he walked by the Lego store, and he saw that they were doing a Darth Revan May 4th promo. You had to spend $75 or more to get this minifigure. And so he goes in and he looks around and he's looking at the Star Wars stuff, and of all the things that were $75 or more, he happened to buy the ATTE, the 2013 version, which is just like fabulous, and he just bought it on a whim so that he could get this Darth Revan minifigure, you know, as one does. And the funny part about this is that he actually never even opened the ATTE. I think he might have opened the box, he said, but he's never actually built it. He like opened it up, looked at the pieces, and I was like, nah. And he didn't want to lose the minifigure because he was moving around a lot. Like in college, usually you like change dorms or change housing every year. So he just left it in the poly bag like this, and it just like lived in his sock drawer. And so time goes on, you know, he's in college, he graduates, he gets a job, he gets married, he moves into a house and all that stuff. And like all through all of this time, Darth Revan's just hanging out in his sock drawer. And so again, that was way back in 2014 when he bought this thing. So a few months ago, he was over here and Ross was just showing him the Lego sets, showing him the Lego City, like our display wall behind me. And you know, his cousin's not super into Lego, and so he really wanted to like share the Lego sets that he had with us and just like let us know what he had. And he just casually mentions like, oh yeah, you know, like I have a Darth Revan minifigure, like that's pretty cool, and I bought it with an ATTE. And Ross just stops right there. He's like, you are lying. You do not have Darth Revan. Like, there's no way you have Darth Revan. And his cousin's like, yes, I do have Darth Revan. Like, I'm not lying. Like, I do have it. I have that little minifigure. And Ross is just freaking out. He's like, no, that's not possible. Like, the only way you were able to get Darth Revan was back in 2014 as a gift with purchase during May 4th weekend. Like, you had to buy something in order to get the Darth Revan poly bag. And his cousin's like, yeah, that's what I did. I bought the ATTE and then it came with this little Darth Revan, and like it's just hanging out in my sock drawer now. Like I do have it, I promise. Like May 4th weekend, I was at the mall and I bought it. And then of course you can just imagine my husband Ross like freaking out, like, you have a Darth Revan? First of all, how did I not know about this? Second of all, it was in a sock drawer for like almost 10 years. Like, what? That thing's worth so much money. It's so rare. Like you could only get it back in 2014 over the course of like 3 days, I believe. And so of course Ross is just like super excited, kind of jealous that his cousin had it, but like still really excited for him because it's a really cool minifigure to have. And like his cousin loved Darth Revan. He played the video game he was in, all that kind of stuff. And then a few months later, Texas goes through this crazy ice storm. It was devastating. People didn't have power. Their water was shut off and it was freezing outside. And so of course, like without heat or electricity, the inside of your house just starts to get very, very cold, especially when it's like negative degrees outside. And during all of this, Ross and I were very fortunate. We only lost power for I think like 2 or 3 hours during one of the days very early on when it wasn't super freezing yet. No pipes burst, no electricity went out. Like we were very, very fortunate during all of this. However, Ross's cousin and his wife lost power for I think the course of 2 full days before they reached out, and we were like, please come stay with us. Like we have a guest bedroom, it's warm here, we have power, and like worst case we do have a fireplace so we can just like snuggle. They did end up deciding to come stay with us for a bit. I think they stayed here for 5 days total. So after those 5 days or so, they do drive home safely, and his cousin reached out and told Ross like, hey, you know, like I remember we talked about the Darth Revan and you were so excited about me having this poly bag. Like as a thank you for us being refugees in your house, essentially, like we would love to give that to you. Obviously we weren't expecting anything in return, like their family, we would take them in anytime, no matter what. But I mean, it's kind of cool having a Darth Revan, not gonna lie. Like, pretty cool. Yay. And so now instead of Darth Revan living in their sock drawer, Darth Revan lives in our sock drawer. I'm sorry. No, I'm totally kidding. We're about to open this on camera. Stay tuned. So here is our Darth Revan poly bag from 2014. This is for ages 6 and up. It comes with 7 pieces because it is just a minifigure. It's called Darth Revan, so that's pretty awesome. And you can kind of see the minifigure on the front. There's a lot of detail there, though it is really reflective. And then when we turn this thing around, you can see the minifigure again here. That's a 1-to-1 scale, the actual size. And there's just so much detail on this. The torso printing looks amazing. There's leg printing. The hood piece looks really cool. So yeah, I'm really excited to see this thing in person. Let's open this thing up. So check out these legs here. For 2014, this is so detailed. I am so impressed by this minifigure. There's just a ton of printing on here, so much detail. And same with the torso. Just look at this. There's a lot going on. I don't think I've seen a minifigure this printed in a while. This looks so good. Okay, and so now let's flip him around real quick. So there's not really too much going on the back. No torso printing, no leg printing on the back, but that kind of makes sense. Like there's a lot going on the front. So here he is now with the cape and the head, and as you can see, the printing on the head looks very similar to Mandalorian's, which is pretty cool. Like I really do like that. And so now let's add on his hood here. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Wow, he looks so scary. I love it. So here he is, and he just looks so detailed. I'm really impressed by this minifigure. Again, especially from 2014, there's a lot going on here. And I believe in the video games, he had one red lightsaber and then a purple one. So I've seen a lot of people give him an extra purple lightsaber. So we might do that at some point. We just don't have one handy right now. And now let's just spin him around so you can kind of see the back. This cape, it's definitely one of those that'll get crinkled. So that's just something to keep in mind with this. It's very stiff right now, but you can definitely see that kind of bending and just getting out of shape a little bit. So now here I've pulled in Darth Vader from the Imperial Shuttle and Kylo Ren from one of the Force Awakens sets. And as you can see, it looks a lot like Kylo Ren got a lot of inspiration from Darth Revan, especially his head printing. There's just a lot of similarities there, which is really cool to see. And something cool I really do want to point out is that the minifigures on either side of Darth Revan are very new. But Darth Revan really looks awesome compared to them. Like, there's not really a huge difference between like the 2014 minifigure and the newer ones. And you know, it's kind of a shame that this figure's so rare because there's so many Star Wars fans that really love this character. He's in a lot of the video games. People have just grown to love him. And he was only available back in 2014 during the May 4th promo. It goes for about $100 on Bricklink. And I'm honestly a bit surprised that it's that low. There's been rumors about him being in a new movie soon. They're only rumors, I don't know what's going on, but there hasn't really been too much hype around it yet, but I feel like the price is gonna go up at some point. Because Darth Revan is so expensive on the aftermarket, there's been a purist method to kind of make your own custom version of him. And this here is Reaper from Overwatch, and he does look very similar. He has the same hood, his face looks very similar as well. There's some decent torso printing, so I do see why people substitute the Reaper for Darth Revan here, because if you added a lightsaber to him, I feel like they would look very, very similar. But at least we have our own Darth Revan now. We don't have to do any customs, and I just think he looks fantastic. So we're gonna add it into our minifigure display. On the left, our minifigures here are all the different clones, and then on the right we have more of our rare, expensive minifig. So of course he's gonna go in there right next to my Queen Amidala. Alright, well I really hope you enjoyed seeing Darth Revan and just hearing about how we got it. I am stoked to have this minifigure. Ross is absolutely thrilled. Like, it's such a white whale minifigure, honestly, because it's so rare, it's so expensive, and I'm just so excited to add it to my collection. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like the smash button and hit that subscribe button while you're down there. I'll see you guys next time.